All right, so I'll let you know when we're going live.
Should I go get my sunnies?
If you want to be a wanker, go for it.
We ruined it now.
Can't believe no one was here for that. No, that's the wrong button.
I was like, this doesn't sound right.
No, it's that. It's the same 70s, sitcom-y theme I made before. It's not a new one, but it wasn't the jamming one. But nobody was here to enjoy it anyway. So
that's all
let's
good.
sort
I'll send
that
a message out on the old Discord.
Hey!
There we go. Now I'm jacked.
Now you're jacked. And so you've put a message in Discord. So hopefully someone will join us because it's Batshit 62, Finn. Batshit 62, yeah. Can't believe it, mate. And that's why a lot of shows at the start, they talk about what the show's about because they're waiting for people to roll on in. But because you've banned me from doing that, we can just sit here. Say hello if you've joined us.
The intro says it. Saying it again is redundant,
Yeah, but watch any show. That's what they do. Hello and welcome to Sale of the Century.
We're not trying to be another show. We're trying to be the best show on the internet, which we already are.
Well, if people start rolling in and we're already fighting, can we not? Can we be friendly for at least the first 7 minutes? Are we
fighting or just agreeing that this is the best show?
No, I was being dramatic. It's so cold here. It's 8 days into autumn, and I'm in my hoodie. I'm in my hoodie, mate. It's cold.
I got drenched this morning and then had to wash the car at the end of the day, at the start of the day for everyone else, but the end of my shift.
Yeah.
In the freezing cold, like 4:30 a.m., 5 a.m., drenched in water.
Nah.
Oh, I'll tell you about freezing, all right? It's bloody cold. Bloody cold out here.
Bloody cold, mate.
When the sun's been gone for like 12 hours in the desert, it's fucking cold.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. I mean, even Adelaide, which is, built on desert, that gets bloody bitterly cold at night and then stinking hot in the day. I know the desert cold, even in the middle of a bloody city. So the beautiful people, there are people watching, they're just not talking, so that's a problem. But we're going to kick on with the show anyway, and I think it's your week to kick off.
Is it?
What do you? Yeah.
Far out.
Yeah. What do you got?
All right, what do we got? I've got a few. I'm going to start with the Australian one because, we should be the centre of attention over here.
We still call Australia home.
Do we?
As long as it's not the trout lady.
No, definitely not. So here we go. You get some full screener.
Up she comes. Here we go.
To lock in a cheaper mortgage, Australian.
So we can get a cheaper mortgage now, Tori, and let's hear how we get the cheaper mortgage. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Looking to lock in a cheaper mortgage, being urged to consider a green home loan, which could save money on repayments and power bills. Some banks are offering lower rates to buyers who make sustainable choices. And the federal government wants to expand access to the incentive.
Their dream green home.
So induction cooking, electric hot water,
and all-electric heating.
We're spending a lot less than we used to, that's for sure.
Beta!
Costs
No, you're not.
a sustainable sanctuary made cheaper with a green home loan from their bank, which provides an ongoing discounted rate.
It makes a big difference, particularly in this current financial environment.
The current rate, 4.99%, is their lowest available to lenders, but strict conditions apply. A new build or renovated property must be all electric, on solar, have a heat pump hot water system, and needs to meet a 7-star energy rating.
There is some upfront cost. You'll make it back pretty quickly.
That reduced interest rate, which might not seem much on the face of it, can make a big difference over the life of a loan.
Our bills are really low. It's been an incredibly good investment for us.
So basically, go along with the plan and we'll reward you for now. So
we'll reward you for now, but you know when they're going through the list of like the criteria, all the stuff you've got to have, and it's all like be all electric and have heat pumps and stuff. It's not, the irony is not lost on me that today, yesterday, but updated again this morning, an article came out that most power companies in Australia are set to rise by more than 20% in the next few months. 20%. Yeah.
For power.
For electricity, yeah. And the Australian Energy Regulator, they've got this new decision, and they're saying that, over half of the Australian population is going to be hit by this price hike. So all these people that are putting in these green friendly homes are now going to get hit with huge power bills, and they're not going to have anything else to fall back on. Do they have to have solar panels? I missed that bit. Were there solar?
I think they did say solar.
Yeah, because like friends of mine that put in panels, I think nearly 2 years ago, they're now finally managing to stockpile power from it. And you don't have like the government buyback anymore when you've got excess stuff. So I've got other friends who've had panels for 10 years or 20 years, and they've got this massive bank of power that they can't use or sell or do anything with it. Cement shoes. You missed the notification. You didn't get one? Look out. But good to have you here, mate. It looks like it's just...
Yeah, I got one.
I did too. I got one.
Maybe the algorithm's getting better. Knows how,
you didn't get one? Look out. Good to have you here, mate. Sorry. Brought that up on my phone with the volume up. Yeah, so all you've missed so far, Cement Shoes, is apparently in Australia you can get what they're calling a green loan by doing all these things on this huge list that they tell you to do to make a house, What's mine? Mine's a 9.75 star out of 10. But one of the things they said is to have everything electric, and only yesterday an announcement came out that our electricity prices in Australia is set to hike between 20 and 25% in the next couple of months. So I don't know, Finn.
That actually doesn't make sense, though, because we have coal, a lot of coal. Like, that's our main export. So we just don't export it, and then we've
got a shitload of wind power happening too around the country, especially in Taswegia.
Is that the majority of the power grid, though?
No, but it should be. This is the thing. There's other ways to generate power.
But what I'm saying is it shouldn't go up by 20% because we have the resources to keep it.
No, because it is. It is, and maybe they'll start looking at stuff like that. I don't know, but
we just don't sell the coal to the Chinese, and then we're okay. That's how we solve that problem.
And there's a massive swing against gas now. Like in Victoria, new builds don't have to be connected to gas. They're actually discouraging that. So I don't know. Let's all just dig a hole and live in that. With an hoodie, so we stay nice and warm. But good to see you here, Cement Juice. I think you're going to be the judge and jury today, so we've got your presence is appreciated. All right.
So that was the first story.
There was the first story.
Be a good citizen and you'll be rewarded with low rates. Remember,
apparently,
be a good citizen. Always be a good citizen.
Always be a good citizen. Now, this is a follow-up. Do you remember last week or the week before, our buddy Nessie? Everyone was getting upset because no one had seen the Loch Ness Monster yet.
Oh, yes.
And then they were saying, oh, well, to be fair, we don't usually see Nessie till March, April. So, it's a bit early in the year. Well, we also had last week the winning story of the otter in Somerset.
The murderous otter.
The murderous otter won the golden batshit medal. So interestingly, there's a shitload happening in Somerset, it appears, because people think they've spotted the Loch Ness Monster off the Somerset coast. Don't let that power go to your head. I like that. I like what you did there, Cement Shoes. So yeah, there it is. Is that just a bit of driftwood? This was spotted in Somerset, so let's hope the murderous otter doesn't find it and eat it. Yeah, this strange-looking piece of... Well, they've said driftwood as well. So, yeah, everyone in Somerset's going, hey, we've got the Loch Ness Monster. It's the seaside town of Clevedon. And they saw Nessie just paddling in the water next to the town's Victorian pier. Yeah.
Good on it. That seems
several feet long. The creature was snapped by many puzzled observers. They were like, what the frig is that? Now, they often have... the odd dolphin, seal, and porpoise flitting around, but not a Loch Ness Monster. Anyway, pictures were taken, and everyone's saying it definitely was the monster bobbing about in the water. There's another picture of it, like this,
like a log.
Right. There it is, bobbing around. The seagulls don't give a shit; they're ignoring it, bobbing around. They don't care.
I mean, log before.
Yeah, I reckon they have to, because if it was a monster, do you think those seagulls would just be like hanging on the foreshore going, yeah, just another old day with a monster swimming by? Now, there, of course, is the photo that started the whole Loch Ness Monster thing. That was the photo taken back in 1934. And there we have it there. Its neck obviously lost a bit of, doesn't have the muscles. It's starting to degenerate in its neck and muscle region.
It's just getting old.
He's getting old. It's totally getting old. So anyway, apparently, it's taken the attention off the murderous otter at least. And yeah, everyone in Somerset's going nuts because they think that this log is Nessie. Look, the thing is, Finn, right? Yeah, bobbing around. The thing is, right, with the Loch Ness Monster is no one's ever seen two Loch Ness Monsters hanging out together, right? Ever. It's always just been one. How's it like reproducing and, how's this one thing that's been around since 1934? Well, at least, because that's when the first photo of it was taken. But yeah, where are the rest of them? How long does this one monster live for? 100 years more?
At least 1,000.
It's getting close to 100 years. So
yeah,
and we don't know what the age. Yeah, we don't know the age of it when it was taken in that photo in 1934. It might have been 100 years old when that photo was taken. It's one batshit monster. So there you go. But at least now, the people that were freaking out because they hadn't seen Nessie in January or February, even though she's not normally seen till March, at least they can shut up now. Hopefully.
There you go.
There you go, mate.
Loch Ness Monster.
Cement Shoes, you're doing a great job. You're dropping one-liners. You're hanging out with us. We fully appreciate your presence here. No idea why we hadn't been joined by other people that want to watch something fun on YouTube. Who knows? So Nessie is back. There's probably something amazing going on. Well, no, it won't be. There'll just be some drama or something going on. They love their drama on YouTube, Finn.
Here we go.
See, look, poor Finn. Finn needs a crowd to be pumped. He's just yawning and.
I'm very tired. So I don't know if you saw this or not. Bloody
hang on, I'm just
Russell
finding
Brand.
StreamYard. Oh, Russell Brand, what's he been up to?
Oh, let me tell you, he's been going on bloody, what's his face's show? Bill Maher, and speaking the truth again. So you know how I love the media, and I'm always propping them up and never calling them propaganda or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Russell's lost the plot. He's lost the plot. He reckons they're all bloody propaganda, and he reckons they're all pushing the same meddling, stupid theories on one another. So he's questioned on Bill Maher, this guy, the bald fella, old baldy.
Yeah.
He works for MSNBC, so he
Oh,
doesn't like being
Bill.
told that he works for. He doesn't like. I don't know if his name's Bill, but he doesn't like being
It is
told that
Bill.
the company he works for is called propaganda. So
His name is
yeah,
Bill.
let's,
It's on.
how do you know that?
Read the headline, and I know who this dude is.
Yeah, that's not Bill Maher.
Oh,
That looks nothing like Bill Maher.
didn't
Bill
think
Maher
so.
looks
I thought he'd gotten old and bald very quickly. Anyway, go for it. Let's
Hold on.
listen to this dude.
Here he goes.
John, I've not known you long,
John.
but I love you already.
John.
But I have to say that it's disingenuous to claim that the biases that are exhibited on Fox News are any different from the biases exhibited on MSNBC. It's difficult to suggest that these corporations operate as anything other than mouthpieces for their affiliate owners in BlackRock and Vanguard. And unless we start to embrace, and also, mate, like just spiritually, if I may use that word in your great country, we have to take responsibility for our own perspectives. I've been on that MSNBC, mate. It was propagandist nutcrackery on there. I went on a show called Morning Joe. It was absurd the way they carried on.
Morning Joe. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It wasn't morning. There was no one called Joe there. No one could concentrate. They didn't understand the basic tenets of journalism. No one was willing to stick up for genuine American heroes.
We might have to pause it because we can't.
Yeah, we don't get hit.
But he's already proving all my points that I'm proving on here all the time. Like it's just
Well, not just you. I do it on my channel. That's part of what I do on my true crime channel constantly.
But mainly it's me saying that these are these are propaganda networks.
Okay, you win
I'm
the
joshing
who slagged. Yeah, me too. You don't understand sarcasm. I didn't even finish my sentence. You win the Who Slams the Media Most Olympics gold medal. Well done, Finn.
I think I do. I think I definitely slam them more. But anyway, he keeps going and it gets better. It gets better. Check out this next minute.
Like Edward Snowden, no one was willing to talk about Julian Assange and what he's suffered trying to bring real journalism to the American people. And I think to sit within the castle of MSNBC throwing rocks at Fox News is ludicrous. Make MSNBC better. Make MSNBC great again.
My friend, I would. The moment
them on a territory you can win on, Joe.
Russell, darling. The moment that you give me a specific example.
What was that?
An actual example.
Okay, I'll give you one.
Wait.
Just we need a specific example.
Let me tell you what the specific I'd like to hear of. I'd like to hear a specific example, a provable specific example of an MSNBC correspondent or anchor being on television, saying something they knew was false, and were saying behind the scenes.
Okay. Should we?
I hope he reels off 1,000. Yeah, bring it on.
He doesn't reel off 1,000, but he does mention one. So should we go? Joe Rogan, obviously. They called him a racist. Horse medicine, horse dewormer, or whatever they called it. Everything to do with COVID was incredibly false. January 6th, that was all fucking bullshit.
Yeah, totally.
The list goes on, right?
Yeah.
So he's gonna fucking destroy him now. Ready? This guy's not prepared for this. He honestly thinks that no one on his network lies.
But also, no one except people who follow Russell Brand is ever ready for Russell Brand. They underestimate him constantly. They think he's this ex-junkie nightmare. They don't appreciate. But he's a fucking genius too. With a mind like a steel trap.
Yes, he's very smart.
Very smart.
Yeah, and very eloquent with the words that he uses.
Unbelievably, and funny as fuck too.
Yeah.
Let's go.
His word choice is like no other. But here's what I'm failing to understand here. This guy, honestly, John, right? He must genuinely believe that none of the news anchors go out there and tell lies that they're told to tell.
Well, it sounds like
they
it.
do.
Yeah.
Like, look over the past 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, everything they've told is fucking bullshit. How about Trump's a bloody Russian agent? Was that true? No. No, absolutely false. Turns out he's not Russian. Turns out he doesn't like the Russians. Fucking hell. Like, you can just look at the past couple of years. Every story they've told
I hear.
Anyway,
Totally.
This is.
Here we go.
I'm about to go out, and we know that the election wasn't stolen
You've
or something
illustrated this
equivalent.
example.
But I will go.
I
But I
understand
will
what you're
go out.
saying.
But I will go out on television and say the opposite. I will lie.
Willie,
When's my answer?
Just give me the specific example.
I understand the basic point.
Give me a specific example.
All right.
I'm with you. I think it's a false equivalency, Russell.
It's a
No, it's not. That's your own biases.
It's not about bias.
It was
It's
a
false
Russian
equivalency because you don't actually know anything about any of these organizations you're talking about. Even MSNBC ones. Big fucking deal.
My darling, it was more than enough.
wow.
You can't come out with
such a
you
carry-on.
don't have a single. You have a single actual fact.
Do you want an example? Do you want an example?
Yes.
The ludicrous, outrageous criticisms of Joe Rogan around ivermectin, deliberately referring to it as a horse medicine when they know it's an effective medicine.
Yeah, that's
What
not a bad
Rachel
example.
Maddow turning up on the TV saying, if you take this vaccine, you're not going to get it when it hadn't been
Non-responsive.
clinically shown.
Non-responsive.
You have to listen.
Wait.
Do you think you
Not
can
a
improve
response.
America
I
by
Can you pause?
determinedly and avowedly
Yeah.
condemning Fox News without
This is what
I don't know what it
frustrates
means
me
by
too.
non-responsive.
This is what frustrates me about, I hate to say it, but these American anchors and stuff. He asked for an example. He has not shut up since he asked for an example. Russell's trying to give very good examples. He's talking over the top of him. He's not even digesting or thinking about what Russell's saying at all. And this kind of media sparring is very typical on American news networks, because I'm very scathing of them on my, like the ones that cover crime, the sensationalistic channels. But how can anyone even listen to this shit? I don't want this crap in my house, you know. Like, imagine having this on in your telly while you're cooking dinner or whatever. Like, why do they do this? It's so
bonkers.
fucking rude.
It seems the word he's using as well, non-responsive. That seems like it's been trained into him. If someone, argues you or stands up to you, non-responsive, non-responsive.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? What you don't use that kind of language in a normal conversation.
No, it's used in court. They use it in
Yeah.
court in America, but it's somehow now managed to infiltrate mainstream media like it's relevant to them, but it's not.
Almost as if they've had media training from their lawyers about what they can or can't say. And he's reverting to that training.
You've probably
Almost
just
like
hit the
that.
nail on the head. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. It's
so
ridiculous.
anyway, this fucking bald John fella is getting annihilated, and Russell's just going to keep fucking smashing him, and this guy's just going to look like a bigger and bigger idiot. So let's keep going.
Acknowledging that you're participating in the same game. Did you not just listen to Bernie Sanders, someone who plainly, legitimately believes in this country and believes it's possible to change, but is bound by corruption, is bound by the lobbying system? Surely it's clear to you, Bill, as one of the great pundits and experts and comic voices, that systemic change is required. Money has to be taken out of politics. We need new political systems that genuinely represent ordinary Americans, so that we can overcome cultural differences. And bickering about which propagandist network is the worst is not going to save a single American life, not improve the life of a single American child, not going to improve America's standing in the world, and the world needs a strong America. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. So you have an obligation, a duty, not to condemn these people.
Nicely said, Russell Brand. Yep, nicely said. Mm-hmm.
How good is he? That guy
So
was
good.
a fucking moron.
Yeah, he was put in his place too, but he probably just. I'd be interesting, whatever happened at the end of that, whether he just started talking over the top of Russell again, and it all just got swept under the carpet, and they moved on to some wacky AI sports coverage of the Hiroshima bombing.
Hey, how dare you? How dare you?
I still keep thinking about them. My God, yeah. Cement Shoes says Cement Shoes inquires, who said Trump was Russian?
I already answered that. I answered that when they said it. But a lot of them are claiming that he was a Russian agent.
Yes.
He was working for the Russian KGB. Oh, it's
Yeah,
not KGB anymore. Whatever the spy agency is called now.
What did I say about Trump and Russia today, actually? There was
But they had the head of the FBI come out after the investigation, 2-year investigation, and they proved there was he had no ties whatsoever. So for the past, I think it was 4 years, they were calling him his last 2 years as president and his 4 years as president, they were all the news on the left-hand side was calling him a Russian agent. And it was only a year ago that the head of the FBI came out and said, oh, yeah, it turns out none of that had any merit to it whatsoever. And it was started by the Clintons' main aide. They just happened to start it. So definitely didn't come from the Clintons or Hill Dog, and perpetuated for 4 years. So,
well, kind of on topic with what you've just mentioned this week. In fact, this news is only a week old. But Trump raged at Rupert Murdoch after Murdoch admitted Fox News commentators made false claims about the 2020 US election. So at least Murdoch has the decency, I'm using that very loosely, to acknowledge some of his anchors had endorsed baseless claims that Trump lost the election due to voter fraud. So, yeah, interesting stuff. Maybe there is some accountability starting to happen. I don't know. Yeah, news is a very depressing thing, but not this news. Batshit is the best news broadcasting channel in the world, is it not, Finn?
On the interwebs, it is number one.
Do you like spiders?
Numero uno. They're all right. Daddy Longlegs are pretty mad.
Hey?
Those ones. Daddy
You like
Longlegs.
Daddy Longlegs? They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Check out this little groover. Hang on, I'm just got to... Oh, I can't. I can only zoom out. All right, let me see if I've got a better photo of him.
All right, go on.
There's a new Spidey in Australia that's been discovered. Because, we just don't have enough, especially deadly ones. So this little fella on the left, this little groover, and he has been, he or she, I don't really know. I don't know how they identify. I don't even know if they identify as a fucking spider. Definitely what their gender is. However, they have been named after the band ABBA.
That is so many ads.
I know.
Oh my God.
I double-checked.
90% ads.
I have never used the Suburban before. I don't even know what the Suburban is, and I'll never use it again. But no, I actually double-checked that I had all my things switched on, and I do. This thing's tiny, cement shoes, so don't get too stressed out. It's only 3 to 4 millimeters long. It's called the ABBA Transversa, and it was named after the supergroup ABBA. It's an orb-weaving spider. The band's the two scientists that named this spider that was found in Perth, Australia. They love ABBA. They're huge ABBA fans, so that's why they've named it that. Although the spider was initially found it is found in coastal areas of New South Wales and Queensland, and it belongs to the orb-weaving Arachnid family. It can be easily identified by its eye pattern, the abdomen normally overlapping the carapace, whatever the fuck that is, and complex genitalia.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's the band.
Looks just like them.
3 to 4 millimeters long. It's teeny weedy. So, yeah, new spider. Just what we need because Australia, Now, look at this, Finn. Currently, 80% of Australian spider species are unknown.
Oh, yeah.
80%. But yeah, we've got the new spider. He's teeny tiny, probably very hard to see with the naked eye. He'd be about 2 to 3 millimeters long. But go Australia. At least that little fucker can't kill you because you'd be able to squash that without even realising.
How are 80% of species unknown? How do they know that there's 80%?
They think they've been miscategorized. Like when I first read it, I thought it was saying that like 80% of the Australian spider population hasn't even been identified yet. And I'm like, oh, that's heavy. But no, it said that it's they've been not diagnosed, miscategorized.
Miscategorized. Yeah.
That misplaced in different genera. Like the ABBA Transversa used to be. Yeah. So,
the family tree, The
family tree, that's right. The genus.
Yeah.
Huntsman spiders are heart attack material. The huntsman are fine. I actually put them out. I don't put them out with my hands, but the problem with huntsman is that they're really quick. Like, that's what freaks me out. And they dart. And if you manage to swipe it off your wall and you've got a broom, it'll be running up the broom handle in no time. They come after you. They don't come after you to attack you like the wolf spiders do. But they just seem to gravitate towards humans, unfortunately. But also, if you get in your car and you put your visor down and there's one on your visor or one runs across your windscreen, like it did one time when I was live on YouTube, that can freak the fuck people out for sure. But the huntsmen are actually pretty, like, harmless. There's other spiders in Australia that are way worse.
Yeah, that's why I like the they're mad. You can just put your hand out, they just crawl on you. They're all
they are cute. Although they're toxic too. Like if you swallow one, you can get sick from it.
There you go.
But
they're pretty
long
poisonous
are
to other things, but not humans.
Yeah,
I think they're
but the thing
poisonous,
about
it doesn't affect
huntsmen,
us for some reason.
huntsmen are also good fighters. Like they are good at. There's videos of them dragging dead birds and scorpions and all kinds of shit. Like they're pretty ruthless fighters. But I know, but I don't mind them. I put them out. I just think they're lost, and I get my house sprayed, and
they're lost.
They're just lost. So I just put them back out in the wild. Although one time, Finn, there was a moth in my house and I caught that and I opened the door and threw it, off the deck to fly away. And this bird just swooped down and devoured it right in front of me. The circle of life.
For no reason.
Yeah, wolf spiders attack. Wolf spiders don't like water and they jump up on you. But we've also got funnel webs, trapdoors. They actually rear up at you and go.
Yeah,
they are scary.
Fucking aggressive,
but they're this bloody big. I mean, there's little spiders going, wee, wee, and I'm like, I can actually just squash you in my double plugger thong.
You could, but then their jabber can go through your thong because they're pretty thick.
They're pretty. We're brave Aussies. We're bloody brave. We live in this beautiful country where everything wants to kill us. So the new Aussie spider, named after the band ABBA.
All right. So more on this green revolution happening in Australia.
Yeah,
we've now got the digital ID is coming, Tori. The digital ID is on its way. So now your phone can be your ID. Okay.
Right.
Now everything can be on the phone. Check this out. You ready? You ready for this?
Government launch a new form of digital ID that means you'll never have to hand over your personal details to anyone again. It will all be stored in the Service New South Wales app on your phone, which will prove you are who you say you are.
Scanning his licence, passport and Medicare card, in less than 3 minutes, the minister proves he really is Victor Dominello.
This is unquestionably the Holy Grail.
This is your first look at the state's new digital ID.
This is a huge step forward in giving back people control over their data, control over their identity.
That's an unfortunate surname, Pounder.
No way.
Was it actual?
It's Pounder.
Cake Pounder. It sounds like cake pounder.
All over their identity.
Or
personal
date.
credentials will be stored on your device. No IDs need to be handed over.
Great.
And that means keeping your address and birth date to yourself. If you need to hire a car, rent a property, set up a bank account, check into a hotel, or prove you're over 18 to buy.
If you want to interact,
could possibly go wrong?
You're going to have this installed on your phone. So
what could possibly go wrong?
Everything that you do, not like that's going to get hacked at all. Not like the government's still going to have access to it, and then have all of your fucking data connected to it because it's all going to be linked on your fucking phone.
I don't want a bar of it. I'm going to be old-fashioned and pull out my little license or my passport when required. Thank you very much.
Do you remember years ago when Alex Jones used to go on conspiracy rants saying that they were trying to chip everyone and control everyone's money and have a digital ID and all this stuff?
Yeah.
Why didn't that say conspiracy theory? How come it's all real now? How come everything he's talking about is now real?
Yeah, well, though George Orwell said it first in 1984. So, Jones.
They didn't have digital IDs.
No.
totally
The book 1984 by George Orwell predicted everything that's going on in the world right now. The book was called 1984. Some of it's happened a little bit later than 84. Yeah, but you were saying they didn't have whatever, but you literally went to
Digital
1984 just then. But it was all predicted. So like Jonesy
They
wasn't
didn't have it.
unique.
But what I'm saying, there's no digital ID in 1984.
But he got the year wrong, but he predicted so much shit. The book was written in like 1930 something.
No. He doesn't. In the book 1984, he doesn't mention a digital ID.
He does. Yeah, he does.
Read it then, because I don't remember.
Yeah, it's my favorite book.
I just remember the whole society of work and everything.
Yeah, and he talks about all the. It's just sitting right there on my bookcase. No, he talks about like all the screens when the ministers beam in and talk to them and everything else. There's a heap of digital references.
Yeah. That's the phone. Yeah. That's the mobile phone.
But there's an ID thing. Yeah, well, pretty much. But yeah, no, I'm happy to stick with licenses and passports. Thank you very much. Because even, I don't know if you do it or not, but I mean, my phone's capable of doing it. But it bugs me when people are paying for shit with their phones for some reason. I'm just like, not going to do it. I mean, if I left home without my wallet and I had to go, shit, I need money, I'd set it up to do it and then I'd take it off my phone again. But yeah, I just keep thinking, do you guys realize those phones are just,
they capture it.
I don't know. It just bugs me for some. Do you ever pay with your phone or do you use your card?
Yeah. No, I pay with my phone because it's the same thing as the card. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
this keeps going though. This keeps going. Let's hear the benefits of this.
Alcohol or attend an event.
All you need to do is tap your phone and that will be a validation that you are real.
Australians from, the kitchen table to the boardroom table would have an increased anxiety following the deluge of data breaches we saw late last year.
But this seeks to take away the risk.
Which is why we don't want that shit on there.
Yeah.
Your details in the first place.
Which is why we're saying don't use a paper ID or a plastic ID. Use one that's digital that they can hack.
I mean, I'm part of a class. I'm part of the Medibank private data breach class action. It's so interesting. Like, because we're all on the dark web now. Every bit of information they could get. But interestingly, when they told us what information the hackers got, it was missing really crucial stuff like your driver's license number and your passport number. Like that stuff was not. They've got things like my phone number and my physical address and shit like that, but they haven't got things like your passport number or, the equivalent in the US, your social security numbers, that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, why would you stick it all on your phone and everything's there for the taking? And these same people will be doing one of those little Facebook quizzes that just, you might as well hand all your information over when you do them. What dog are you? Yeah.
I've got some very credible people that I know that are very confident that breach and the Telstra breach, was it? Telstra or Optus? The Optus breach.
Yeah, the Optus breach.
Both of those were not a random hacker, but in fact China. So,
it's the weather balloon.
Seems to be collecting. It seems to be the Chinese government is collecting all of the world's data for some reason.
Well, the countries, I mean, it's not just China. Fuck. Everyone. I mean, America is the expert of data.
Oh, they're always doing it. Yeah, they invented it. They're pioneering it.
Indeed.
But how can I trust you are who you say you are? Well, you'll need to take a selfie, which will be cross-checked against other forms of ID you submitted. And when there's a match, you're good to go. The technology will be opt-in and should be available later this year.
And I don't. When the government comes, I don't want a bar of it. Thank you very much. Even yesterday, I was in a meeting and one of the people that was running it, they were like, I'm going to send this to all of you for you to download onto your phones or tablets for it's like a database basically for like an organizational database or whatever. And I was like, and it's, it's got the date of the next meeting and the link and everything in there. And I'm like, yeah, I'm cool just writing it in my diary that I've got a meeting and I'll check my email on the morning and get the link and away. I don't need to download some sort of information gathering app. in addition to everything else, like if someone sends you a link to a Zoom meeting, you can download it straight into your calendar if you use it on your phone. But I'm sitting there going, nah, I'm still happy to have a pen and a diary. I love my diary. I love writing my stuff in that I've got and my little to-do lists. Yeah, it's a way of remembering it for me. I don't know about you when you were studying, but for me, writing stuff down or speaking it out loud, like doing like a little speech, that's how I retain stuff. I don't have a photographic memory like my sister where she could just read shit and remember it. But if I write something out.
There's some people, if they write it, they forget it. So they have to speak it out loud to remember
it.
Because
and I do both.
Gone.
I do both. I have a to-do list and I update that every day and tick off all the things that I've done and stuff. But yeah, for learning for exams, I'd often like write my notes and then I'd read them out. So it's sort of like an insurance policy if I forgot the notes. Whereas my sister can just read a book and she'll go, it's halfway down page 62. I don't have that kind of memory. That's a photographic. Yeah. Mine's a retentive, I think. But anyway, what were you like?
Know what mine is. Not very good. Mine's horrible.
Yes, well, my bad. My poor lifestyle choices in the 80s and 90s might have something to do with my memory issues.
Oh, mine definitely does. Stay away from alcohol, kids. Just do drugs. Drugs is the way to keep your brain functioning. All right.
I'm not a big drinker. I'm talking about the other thing. That digital ID is just crazy to me. And look at them all grinning and going, "Isn't this cool?" Just feed the masses. They'll get them all signed up. I'm happy to resist that one. Thank you very much.
What is it? How does the empire die? Not with a shock, but with a thunderous applause. Is that the Star Wars quote? Yeah, they welcome it.
I can't believe no one's joined us. I mean, it's great to have you here,
Cement's here.
But he's doing
Good on you,
a great job. I feel sorry for him. He hasn't got a little buddy. All right, now I've got two similar
we should send
stories.
him the link so he can join us in the live. Why
we
not?
We could.
Yeah, just paste it down below.
All right, hang on. I was just about to share. I'll just go back in here. Cement's never jumped up on panel, but hey, if you wanna,
let's see what happens. You can just do audio if you want, Cement. All good.
All right, so two stories I stumbled across. One was sent to me by lovely Ruth, who's not here, so she's not getting
Ruth
credit.
Just rocked up.
Hey?
Ruth just rocked up as you said that.
No way.
Yeah, actual.
Oh my God, she did. Ruth. Right, so this is the first one. This isn't the Ruth story, but this I happened to stumble across too, and I was like, well, this is a little bit batshit. But it also ties in. That's so funny. I literally said Ruth's name and she walked in. Insane.
While looking for Christmas.
Of all the people. Good to have you here, gorgeous. That's so bizarre, isn't it? So yeah, this woman's husband went missing and she was looking for Christmas directions directions in December when she found her husband's dead body in the house. This is a woman.
Oh, right? She killed him. Oh, she straight up killed him. Look at that.
I thought so too, but no, she didn't.
Oh, God.
He took himself off this mortal coil. But Jennifer,
right, sure he did.
Let me read the story. So, her husband had been missing for nearly 8 months when she was looking for Christmas decorations in a closet in their home, and lo and behold, there was Richard. So he went missing on April the 27th last year. Said he was leaving work early, and she got home. The car was there, the keys were in the house, his wallet, but nowhere to be found. Anyway, the cops went to the house. They couldn't find Richard. They searched the house, but they did notice a sewer-like smell. Then she actually called the cops again to report the odor. That's how you know she didn't kill him, because no murderer in their right mind would do that. And the cops went back again and still didn't find Richard. And then there's Richard before he perished in the closet. Anyway, they called a plumber, right? And the plumber did a bit of work, and weirdly, the smell seemed to go away. And then you get to December, Jennifer's looking for Christmas decorations, and there she found her husband's body mummified. mummified. And it turns out he had taken his own life. But the really weird part of it was, or the thing that I learned, one of the reasons they found it so hard to find him and they didn't know about the secret cupboard was they were hoarders. So the house was absolutely full of shit. And that's why they didn't find him. All right. So that's that story.
The house. That's,
they searched it twice. They searched it twice, but it's a prelude into
what a shit bunch of cops. Fucking hell. They can't even
but
in a house.
No, because it was a secret closet and she stupidly obviously didn't remember it because it was buried under all of her shit in the house because they were hoarders. When she calls them again saying there's a stink, and then they send a plumber around, and weirdly the plumber's visit and the smell seemed to it all fixed at the same time. And they were saying how once you've decomposed and you become mummified, your body doesn't really smell that much anymore. So they reckon it just was timing.
The fluids. Yeah.
But this ties in with the story Ruth sent me.
Ruth, the bead hoarder, eh?
Where the frig is it? The Telegraph. Why can't I find it?
The Telegram.
The Telegraph. I found it. Okay.
This is the Telegram of the app.
I did get it, man. I got it. Here we go. So Ruth sent this.
Yes.
So
cross-platform MMO combat game. All right.
Mummified body kept in food bag is my spiritual girlfriend, says delivery driver. This man has been apprehended with an 800-year-old mummy in his possession. He claims it sleeps with him. But the cops are like, you're a bullshitter. It's not your little buddy. You were trying to sell it. So there it is.
Yeah.
It's in like, one of those pizza delivery bag things. On closer inspection, the mummy was found to be Juan, not Juanita. And this is in Peru, by the way. So, yeah, they've seized the mummified human between 600 and 800 years old. And this guy reckons he's had it at his place for 3 decades. And he used to deliver meals to people's homes. And he's just, as you do, he's just gone, fuck it. I'll just chuck my dummy in that delivery bag. Julio Cesar Bermejo is in detention.
Wow.
Because they're not buying the Juanita as my spiritual girlfriend. He said, at home, she's in my room. She sleeps with me. I take care of her. And reckons his dad brought the mummy home 30 years. There she is, but it turns out it's Juan. Look at that smiley face. Needs a bit of dental work, but, but anyway, he was driving around with it and saying to his mates, pulled up in a park, and he's like, hey, check out my skeleton, basically. And, they reckon it's a very valuable Peruvian artifact, and it's also Juan. The mummy was probably about 45 years old when it died, but it's wrapped in a fetal position. That's kind of creepy. So anyway, he reckons the guy that they've got in detention reckons he wasn't trying to sell the mummy in the park. He was just showing it to his buddies, like, check out my mummy.
That's unreal.
Yeah, it's batshit, right?
Who the fuck has a mummy? Who has a mummy?
Well, this guy did. This guy does. But look at it, the way they've propped it up, peeping out like that. That's making me laugh.
Wake the truck up. Welcome.
Wake the truck up. Very late.
Bit late. What do you
very
call
late.
This, what do you call this?
But you're here. That's better late than never.
Yeah.
I mean, we've just done story number 6, which consisted of 2 stories about mummies. But anyway, there on the screen right now is Juan, the 800-year-old mummy, who's actually a Peruvian artifact, but this dude's reckons or told the cops it was his spiritual girlfriend. And absolutely batshit. I mean, it's kind of up there with Ragdoll Person and Fence Rider,
But if he owns the mummy, why wouldn't he be able to sell it?
Well, probably because it's been stolen, because, it's like it's considered an incredibly valuable artifact. So maybe it went missing from a museum or something. I don't know. But the police, and maybe it's illegal. Hang on, let me just check. Maybe it's against the law to sell a Peruvian artifact.
No.
I mean, he's in custody, so he's done something
No
wrong.
way. Yeah, but he needs a better lawyer, it sounds.
Yeah, but you can't, like, if you're walking around Peru, you go to Machu Picchu or whatever, you can't just like take a rock
Machu
and head
Picchu.
home with it. You can't take a rock home
I'm pretty
with
sure
you.
they sell the rocks.
Really?
From the area. I'm pretty sure. They sell like little tiny ones that you can take. Yeah. All right.
Oh.
Next story. So you remember the propaganda machine we were just talking about? So I don't know if anyone's been following this, but January 6th was an insurrection. We have to say that for legal reasons on YouTube. And these people are all evil. We must acknowledge that. They are the spawn of Satan, and they all deserve to be shot in the face and murdered, all of them. So now that we've got that out of the way, turns out the media over the past couple of years saying that all these guys are bad guys. They've just released 40,000 hours of footage from that day in the building. And it turns out the news was kind of cherry picking the video they had and blowing it a little bit out of proportion to the point where nothing they said reflected what was actually happening. So now that 40,000 hours has come out, we're able to see the actual footage of these evil insurrectionists causing absolute mayhem in the Capitol building. So let's just go ahead and watch what horrible people these guys are.
Okay.
Those lies had a purpose. They created a pretext for a federal crackdown on opponents of the Uniparty in Washington.
Our office wanted to ensure that there was shock and awe, that we could charge as many people as possible.
The first thing you
So that's them obviously talking about charging these people by blowing it out of proportion. And that's the guy literally admitting to doing that very seriously.
notice from viewing the full video record of January 6th is just how many people entered the Capitol building that day. Hundreds and hundreds of people, possibly thousands, over the course of about 2 hours. The crowd was enormous. A small percentage of them were hooligans. They committed vandalism. You've seen their pictures again and again. But the overwhelming majority weren't. They were peaceful. They were orderly and meek.
Look at them.
These were not insurrectionists. They were sightseers.
They weren't hooligans. They were sightseers.
Protesters queue up in neat little lines.
Look
They
at
give
them
each other
walking through.
tours outside the speaker's office. They take cheerful selfies and they smile. They're not destroying the Capitol. They obviously revere the Capitol.
You're going to see in a second. So I just got to pause it so we don't get struck. But you're going to see it in a minute too. There's literal cops who work there giving them tours, escorting them through the building. I'm not making this up.
No,
I'm
believe
not
me.
making this up.
Bless them.
This is-
These aren't hooligans, Finn. They're sightseers.
They're sightseers. But for YouTube purposes, these guys are evil and we should murder them all. So that's clear. Just so that's
They
clear.
believe the election was stolen from them. They believe in the system. Here's the man you've heard referred to as the QAnon shaman outside the Senate chamber. These are not rioters. These are people who wandered over from a political rally.
We will not let them silence your voices.
After the rally, they walked down Pennsylvania Avenue, where organizers had secured a federal permit to hold a legal rally on the grounds of the Capitol.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
Once at the Capitol building, things began to get chaotic. Capitol police officers fired tear gas into the crowd. A few at the front of the herd broke windows. Someone opened the doors, and many hundreds of others just walked in.
We're going to make that the story.
Of course, they did make it the story.
Alex Jones.
And at the center of it, the single most famous person arrested that day was a Navy veteran
Jamiroquai.
from Arizona called Jacob.
So if we don't know too much about what's happened to this guy, he has been given 4 years in prison. for
Really?
breaking into the building. He
I
did
mean,
not
look,
hurt any-
some of
he did not attack
Jamiroquai-
anyone. He did
some
not
of
hurt
Jamiroquai-
anyone.
And some of their songs are a bit average, but it doesn't warrant 4 years in jail.
4
You're not
years in
getting
jail.
my
No,
you're not getting my Jamiroquai joke, are you?
no, the look, obviously. The no damaging of materials, no harm to anyone, like nothing. And this guy's
Brilliant
got
face
4
painting
years.
skills. Brilliant.
Yeah, real
Chansley,
good. Real
often
good.
referred to as
Look
the
at that.
QAnon shaman.
The so-called QAnon shaman. QAnon shaman.
Someone named Q Shaman.
Jacob Chansley became the face
Somebody
of January
named
6th,
Q
a
Shaman.
dangerous conspiracy theorist dressed in outlandish costume who led the violent insurrection to overthrow American democracy.
The violent
For these crimes,
insurrection.
Chansley was sentenced
Violent.
to nearly 4 years.
Violent insurrection, they called it.
And
Violent
he's just
insurrection.
casually walking down through the corridor.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Keep
This
in
ties
mind-
in, and this ties back to the Russell Brand story earlier
Yes.
too.
Does it not? Yeah, for 2 years they've been spinning this story that these are the worst people ever. And again,
Yep.
they are. We should murder them all. And then now we're seeing the actual footage of it, and it turns
Yep.
out, oh yeah, they're just strolling through.
They're just walking around a
Loaded
museum, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
In prison,
Check it
far
out.
more time than many violent criminals now receive. What did Jacob Chansley do to receive this punishment? To this day, there is dispute over how Chansley got into the Capitol building. But according to our review
Look,
of
that's the
internal
cops.
surveillance video, it is very clear what happened.
That's
once
cops
he
just
got
walking with him.
inside.
Yeah.
Virtually every moment of his time inside the Capitol was caught on tape.
Look at
the
it.
Tapes show that Capitol Police never stopped Jacob Chansley. They helped him. They acted as his
Trying
tour
to open a
guides.
door.
Here's
Acting
video
as
of
his
Chansley
tour
in the
guide.
Senate chamber.
They're trying to open the door
Capitol
for him.
police officers take him to multiple entrances and even try to open locked doors for him. We counted at least 9 officers
Look at
who
these
were
cops.
within
Look at
touching
this.
distance of unarmed Jacob Chansley. Not one of them even tried to slow him down.
No.
Nothing.
Chansley understood that Capitol Police were his allies. Video shows him giving thanks for them in a prayer on the floor of the Senate.
Look at that. They
Watch.
held the door for
Thank you,
him.
Heavenly Father, for giving the inspiration needed to these police officers to allow us in this building.
Contrast
Is this not insane? Like,
Yeah,
is
it's
this not
completely
complete
insane.
opposite of what they have been spewing out?
Total
This is
opposite
like-
of what we've seen.
This is
Yep.
like nothing. Nothing even close to what the fuck
Nope.
they've been saying. Oh
No.
my god. Oh
the
my god.
reality of what Jacob Chansley did in the Capitol building on January 6th, the indisputable facts recorded on video, some of which has never before been seen, with the depiction of Jacob Chansley that you've seen in the media for more than 2 years. He's
Yeah.
a terrorist, they said. He should be
terrorist.
killed.
Shoot him. Shoot him. Like, if
Fuck
you burst
Fuck
into
you,
the United
dickhead.
States, hey, if he was dressed like Bin Laden, would you have shot him?
Shoot him. Shoot him.
What? What does
It
that
makes you
even mean?
wonder, who are the
What does that
violent
even mean?
extremists here? Not Jacob Chansley. And the video proves that. But you would never have known from the media coverage.
The people
Never.
sitting in the chairs need to be sitting in a jail cell.
Chansley is in a jail cell. He's been there for months. If he was, in fact, committing such a grave crime, why didn't the officers who were standing right next to him
Arrest
place under
him?
arrest? Until now,
Unreal.
no one could even prove that even happened. But it did.
Wow.
Subscribe to the Fox News YouTube
Well, I
channel
can't
to
afford
catch
that, though, yeah. So yeah.
Whew.
That's
that poor guy. That poor guy.
Yeah. Oh, he's fucked. He's so fucked. Like,
Yeah.
Although you're a professional lawyer, so in his
To
court, I don't know
recuse
if you know. I don't know if you know this, but the guys who were putting him away, what are they called? The ones on the opposing side to him.
Yeah,
Whatever that-
prosecutors.
right?
Yeah.
They had access to this footage, and then
Mhm.
they
still went ahead with it.
They took it to the judge, and the judge said he cannot use that footage as evidence. That happened, and that was
Yeah.
in his trial. He
Yeah.
didn't even see that footage. He wasn't allowed to see that footage. So now that this has come out and has been made public, surely this could have a retrial, and he could.
I hope so. I'm going to cover it.
encourage his sentence.
I'm going to cover it because it totally ties in with what I do on my channel. It's all about trial by social media and irresponsible media reporting and irresponsible YouTubers and propaganda and all of that sort of stuff. So I'm going to look into Jacob's story and follow it.
The actual judge, you'll find this out when you research it. The actual judge forbidden this footage to be used.
I need to read the reasons.
That is
why.
fucked up. Oh,
So
so
much
they needed to
evidence.
make an example. Because they needed to make an example of someone.
No. I want to hear what his reasons on
official.
record are. Yeah. Because they exclude evidence all the time, and it's appeals and so on can really hinge on the wording that judges have used. But interesting. Thank you. You've given me a new story to follow because I'm fascinated, and it's right on what I do. I just feel for him so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like he's fucked. He's doing 4 years. I'm keen to show this to my dad because he very much follows The Guardian and all the very left-leaning politics. And he has been convinced that these guys are terrorists, So now that the footage comes out, I'm very keen to see if that's going to flip.
But to be honest, Finn, I think we covered it I think it was in an episode of Batsh, because remember there were a whole heap of people sort of like a troop lined up out the front marching in. Do you remember showing that video?
Oh, the FBI guys.
The FBI guys. Yeah, but even at the time, like it was because everyone was just like, that's absolutely disgusting. Like you can't do that to the Capitol building and so on. Like the initial stories that came out, and then more and more things started coming out. But like footage like that, and they peacefully, like literally. I mean, there were a couple of hooligans. We did see footage we just saw footage then of one guy kicking the door open, whatever. But what a great word. Let's bring back hooligan and sightseers as well. So brilliant. I mean, it's brilliant that it's coming out. I'm surprised that it came out on Fox though. Were they the ones that broke that story?
Tucker Carlson got the access to the footage. What is
There's
weird?
Some networks are starting to show morals, Finn. It's really interesting.
Let's see how long it lasts.
Oh no, but it's just snippets. Like Sky News Australia. Sky News Australia has started calling out so much shit. They're giving editorial spaces to people to comment on stuff, and it's really good. Like it's really good. Yeah. So anyway, we'll see.
I think what's happening there is that they've realized that they're dying, and the reason they're dying is because everyone thinks they're all propaganda. So the only way out of that is to actually start doing their fucking job. And so they're starting to do it, which is just weird. Like they should have been doing it the whole time, obviously.
Oh, I agree, but it's an interesting time, isn't it? It's interesting to watch, and just even listening to that story, just seeing the Fox logo, you kind of like didn't expect that. All right, we have one last story.
Here we go.
And I'll bring it up now. This is kind of still, well, no, it's not really, but my favorite thing, which is calling out the whole woke movement and easily offended people.
You're going to get a shot at it.
I mentioned last week that the Ricky Gervais quote that I continue to use now is, you find it offensive, I find it funny. That's why I'm happier than you. It's like my favorite Ricky Gervais quote, and I have many. But as a kid, one of my favorite books or authors, many books, was Roald Dahl, because he wrote books that were so inappropriate, I guess, compared to the standard kiddie books. Like he wrote about horrible people and took the piss out of people and said things that you'd be like, oh, and it was so exciting to get a new Roald Dahl book and just see how scathing he could be. But anyway, the wokey movement.
He turned out to be a creeper, didn't he?
Was it Roald?
Yeah, I think his wife was like paralyzed or something, and he would just rape her like constantly. And
that's not good. That's not good, but it's not. I'm not on here about that.
Anyway,
he's been called a bigot basically because of his books, and so what they're doing is they're rewriting his books essentially. So, God. They've taken words like fat and ugly out of his books. And so
they leave that in.
Rick, don't. This is bad shit. We can talk about people being vile on another show, but this is about Ricky. Good on him. calling it out because, they've basically edited or banned all these words. It's not just Roald Dahl's book either. There's heaps of other books too. They're also like altering anything relating to gender, race, mental health, that sort of stuff. So that's all been edited as well. And it's pretty much pissing people off. And I've got to say that I have an issue with it too. Like every book reflects the time that it was written and so on. Like as human beings evolve and things change, I don't think you should be rewriting history. And to me, a book is, in a way, historical, okay? And it just shouldn't be messed with. I mean, we can't we'd go bloody ballistic if someone went into the Mona Lisa and, put a moustache on her. Like, you don't fuck with stuff. Just leave things the way they were. And even Camilla, King Charles's wifey, she's weighed in saying the edits are the work of those who may wish to curb your freedom of expression or impose limits on your imagination. Go Camilla. Seriously, I'm totally with her on that. So anyway, I mean, Ricky Gervais has been calling out the fragile and easily offended for a long time. And he's done, a tweet was, this is me pondering whether they'll change any of the words I've used in my work after I'm dead to spare those who are fragile and easily offended. Words like fat and ugly and cunt and fuck and fat, ugly, greedy, pathetic, little stupid fucking cunt, stuff like that. So this was his little tweet, pondering. And then most people are supporting him, but someone on Twitter said the difference is that Ricky's comedy isn't suitable for children, but Roald Dahl's books are. But I mean, I was like 11 or 12 when I read my first Roald Dahl. Like I wasn't 4.
Yeah. I would agree that cunt shouldn't be in a kid's book.
It's not. That's him. No, that's Ricky talking about his stand-up routine. That's not.
Gotcha.
No, Roald Dahl had fat and ugly. Anyway, this is my favourite bit. So then Ricky, fine. This is what alerted me to the whole drama because I follow Ricky on Twitter, but I saw this tweet and he said, never mind, I've changed my mind. I think we should ban the words fat and ugly. No reason.
Funny.
And he does stuff like that. He does the worst things from the bath.
He does the bathtub ones. Yeah.
He's fucking hilarious. So anyway, apparently too, I'm not sure if it was
fucking Derek there.
Ian Fleming's, all the James Bond books, they're being reissued and they've been edited to remove racist references and words. I mean, the thing is,
everyone, you need to not own digital copies of stuff. You need to own the original because the digitals, they're going to go in and rewrite and you won't even know it that they've done it. So
correct. And the thing is, too, Finn, is like the authors and stuff that are coming through now, they're writing in ways that suit where the world is now. And I watched the James Bond film not that long ago it was a Sean Connery one, or it might have been a Roger Moore, right? It was so politically incorrect. It was fucking gold.
Yeah.
Like we love, I mean, just the characters alone, some of their names and everything. But I mean, Octopussy, come on.
Pussy galore.
But yeah, pussy galore. But but we're just like, there's no way you could do that now. And it's amazing that they did, like it's intact. And it was really fun to watch it. And I think, isn't that how you learn about human evolution, by seeing how far we've come?
Where we were, yeah.
So all this stuff is now being, censored and re-edited and so on. And I think it's a load of bollocks.
It is. It's
so go Ricky.
Like
no.
You're whitewashing history and doesn't make sense. It's better to acknowledge that people were evil back in the day.
Correct, because we
look good the entire time.
Correct, and people, we're not that great generally, and it's like we're sanitizing history, like you're saying, and just take all the yucky stuff out, and yet there's this whole push for people to acknowledge how fucked we were in the past and to move forward and not make those horrible, not even mistakes, but not repeat that kind of shit. So, I'm totally, once again, so glad I'm in the second half of my life because fuck knows what the new generation, I mean, they're all going to have all their ID on their phones. They're going to have these watered down, they've been fed bullshit in the media, and we've had several stories reflecting that. And the Loch Ness Monster will probably be dead by the time they're our age too. What sort of life is that?
Just on the rewriting history, here's something to let people ponder about for a little bit as well. We like to think that we're the good guys, and we like to think that our lineage comes from the good guys winning the battles. But if you actually think about it, let's say there was 1,000 battles, and we're the descendants of those 1,000 battles, right? Of warring nations. Were we the good guys in every single one of those battles?
No, we were the losers.
Well, we were the winners, but
some were the losers. I could have been a descendant of a loser. How would I know?
But what my point is, surely out of some of those battles, our lineage was the bad guy in that fight. We haven't just been good guy the entire time. So we need to acknowledge that we come from evil people. Like, it's just
correct.
Not evil, but
and that's
evil, I guess, works.
But. But that's where the people that were opposing Sorry Day, for example, for those of you outside of Australia, is sort of an acknowledgement of how fucked we were when we arrived in Australia to our Indigenous population. But the people that were like, well, it wasn't fucking me, it was my great grandfather. I'm not fucking apologizing. Like, the point went over their head. It's not taking responsibility for what your great-grandfather did. It's acknowledging your great-grandfather was one of those people that did something fucked up. That's it, But, oh, no, I'm not. Why should I fucking apologize? I didn't do anything. Well, you are doing something by not just going, yeah, that's a black part of our history that we need to acknowledge and move forward, But
I also, in saying that, though, like, something just popped in my head. I don't think the current day Germans should apologize for their grandfathers or grandparents being Nazis.
But they do. That's the thing. Like,
but
most
I don't
of them
think they should have to.
No, but they're not being forced to. But nobody forced people to apologize on Sorry Day either. It was people's choice whether they were going to acknowledge it. But I just think, this whole whitewashing history, let's just pretend we've always been amazing, and we've essentially ruined the planet we're living on because of neglect and the way we've mistreated it. So we're not that great, really, at all. The smartest creatures on the planet, apparently, and we've done more damage and destruction than any other animal, dolphin, Loch Ness Monster, or weather balloon combined.
Well, apart from the cows. The cows have caused the destruction.
Yeah, the farty bum cows. Yeah, let's have a chat to them.
The burping. The burping
is time. Yeah, look, rewriting history for sure, Ruth, but I just think don't touch Roald Dahl's books, irrespective of whether he's a turd in real life or not, or was. The fact they were still good books. I mean, one of my favourite comedians.
I would even argue there, Ruth, that the Americans are very good at now as well.
Well, we just had a story on that.
The story,
so
exactly, exactly right.
So let's now vote. Just a quick recap. First up, in Australia, you can sign up for a green mortgage. You've got to follow all the rules to get some sort of discount, even though on the same day, virtually, that story came out. Another story came out saying energy prices are going up nearly 25%. So I don't know.
Just be a good government-approved citizen, all right?
Yeah, just put electricity in your house and pay the price. We had the Loch Ness Monster. No one had seen her in January or February. Was she dead? Well, Nessie's been spotted bobbing around in the water off the coast of Somerset. Hope she doesn't bump into the killer otter. Ugh. Russell Brand calls it out. Russell Brand on fire. On fire, calling out mainstream media in America and being talked over and pretty much ignored, although the audience sounded like they were bang up for it.
In front of the dude's face too, I might add.
Yes. Well, that is Bill. We've got a new spider in Australia who's been called. No, the other dude was Bill Maher on the panel.
Yeah, Bill Maher. But he agrees.
The new spider in Australia named after the supergroup ABBA. Why? Who knows? Oh, because the scientists who found it are fans of ABBA. The digital ID put absolutely everything on your phone. Pardon me. What could possibly go wrong? Get rid of your
On a government
passport.
app.
Get rid of your driver's license. It's a big government-run app, and give them your life.
All good. The government's away.
Mummies. We had the two mummy stories.
those
One
ones.
from Ruth and one that I found as well. We had the guy that died and was in a closet for 8 months till someone found him. Sorry, I've run out of liquids. And the Peruvian artifact mummy. I'm really sorry. I don't know what's happened. I'm choking. The 6th of Jan, turns out the footage we were shown was a mere snippet of the hooligans, and we weren't shown all the sightseers having a lovely day at Capitol Hill. And Ricky Gervais leading the campaign against censoring Roald Dahl's books, amongst other things. Vote now, Groovers. What is your favourite story? I'm just going to mute for a second and get some water. I'm really sorry.
The most batshit story. Let's think about it. What has there been? I feel like they're all pretty batshit. The mummy ones seem the least amount of batshit out of all of them, though. To be honest, cement shoes. You obviously disagree. Voting for the mummy story. Closet man. Okay, well, I'm definitely on a different level to all you guys, though, because my brain is saying that was the least interesting story. Oh, fuck. I don't know. Hey, there's been some good ones. What are you going for, Tours?
Cement shoes. That's right. The votes that have come down so far.
Yeah.
The mummy. I'm sorry.
You're out of control, woman. What are you doing? So, I feel like the Jan 6 story. I'm going to vote for the Jan 6 story. That just seems like fucking bonkers. Just because I remember so much of it being told that they were terrorists and stuff. Are you going to die on the live stream?
No, I think I'm overheating in my hoodie. It's because it's got really warm and the sun's been pouring in, and I'm just like overheating. Yeah, I'm totally Jan 6 as well.
Yeah, that feels like the most
totally.
story. Everyone's going for the mummy.
I mean,
I don't understand.
It's not that
they're on a different level to me.
Is your vote, Ruth, for Closet Man? Medicine Man. Hello. Peace be with you, Groover. So the mummy gets one. Is that a vote for Ruth? That's what I want to know. But yeah, 3 votes for the mummy.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Only 2 for Jan 6. I feel like the Jan 6 story is the craziest. They completely rewrote that history. Like, they completely falsified it. Peace be with you all, with love and understanding, surrounding you always, Groovers. What? Understanding surrounding you. What does that mean? What does understanding surrounding you mean?
No, peace be with you.
Thank you.
Or with love and understanding surrounding you always. Yeah,
peace and understanding.
Guys, I'm sorry.
Oh my God, get some water, woman. What are you doing? Jesus.
I've got water. I can't get whatever it is that's making me cough to stop.
Oh,
I've inhaled. I think I've inhaled an ABBA spider. Have a ciggy. What's
have a
on
dart. Yeah, have a dart. That'll do it for you. That'll clear
okay, so the mummy has the mummy story has won, but interestingly, they're all going for the dude in the closet, not the Peruvian mummy.
Oh, it's
interesting
story though.
Well, it is. They were combined, but everyone's talking about the dude in the closet. 8 months in a hoarder's house. That's kind of creepy. And rest in peace, whatever his name was. What a show. Now, speaking of shows.
I still feel like the wife killed him.
Yeah, she looked sus as for sure. But when it was the only thing that saved her was that she called the cops to come back again because she wanted to know what the smell was.
Why call the cops?
Well, if you killed your husband and hid him in your house, you're not going to call the cops and say, my house stinks. Can you come and find out why? And they're like, this is why your decomposing husband in the closet. Well, no. You can't vote. You can. Well, you voted for it anyway, Ruth, by voting for it. But anywho, the winner is the mummies. And when are we back, Finn?
When are we back? I think Wednesday nights. We'll do Wednesday night because then I'll be back.
Wednesday night.
Back home in the island.
Bring it on.
Kick it off.
You'll be dusting off your
AEST,
beanie
8:30.
groover. And we've got a
8:30
long
PM.
weekend. Are you back for the long weekend?
I don't get a long weekend, but yes, I will be back.
Okay, yeah, because I'm going to enjoy the long weekend. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us, especially Cement Shoes. I'm singling you out
Good
because
on you,
you
Cement.
pretty much were our co-host and buddy for the first 6 stories of the show. Epic effort. And yes, we'll all catch you next Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And thank you too for Ruth for sending in a story. If anyone ever finds things they'd like included in the show, let us know well before we do the show, and they might just show up in the list.
We've also done a
Rock! Yeah! Woo!
Don't
What were you
forget our
saying,
sponsor
Finn?
this week. Our sponsor this week, Big Tobacco. If you don't support Big Tobacco, you're missing out. Go buy some ciggies and support the show.